Hi everybody, Tom Will here from Sun Racing. Delighted to be joined on this week's Sun Racing preview by top tipster at Templegate of the Sun, Steve Mullin, as he is also known, to discuss the big racing at Haydock and also at Ascot, but particularly up north at Haydock, as we have the Betfair Sprint Cup Group 1, the highlight of the weekend, featuring an all-star field headed by Dream of Dreams after that brilliantly impressive victory at Newbury last time out. There's plenty in there with big chances, though, up against him, including Hello Yumzane for Kevin Ryan, Tabdeed for Owen Burrows, who can do no wrong at the moment, Lope Fernandez for Aidan O'Brien, Golden Horde for Clive Cox, and, of course, our old favourite, the Tin Man for James Fanshawe. Templegate, this is a really good race this year, very, very competitive. Do you think Dream of Dreams is the one to beat, and is he your pick in the race?
I think he probably is, yeah, the one to beat at least. I've not tipped him just on balance, but I think, I live not a million miles from Haydock and it's been extremely wet. I think it's going to feel a bit more like 7 furlongs, which was the trip of his last win, wasn't it, Dream of Dreams, and he was extremely impressive. My slight worry with him is his record at Group 1 level isn't maybe as great as it could be, but don't take that away from him. He should be right there and is probably the right favourite. I just think the way 3-year-olds have done so well in this race in recent years, I think 5 of the past 6 have been won by a 3-year-old. And I just think Art Power could be the one. I don't think he enjoyed himself in the Nunthorpe last time. It was going a bit quick for him over 5 furlongs there. But he was so good at Royal Ascot, wasn't he? And he likes cutting the ground, which is important. And I think Art Power at the prices, I think looks a decent bet to me.
Funnily enough, I'm in total agreement with you. Dream of Dreams' record at Group 1 level is not good enough for me, particularly at the price that he is, even despite the fact he was very impressive last time. I'm not sure. That definitely wasn't as strong a race as this one. And I agree with you. I think Art Power was off his feet last time in the Nunthorpe, and this is much more his distance. We know he'll go well in this ground, and he looks the one to me. And he's quite a big price getting away from some of the older horses. So, I'd be with him as well. I think Lope Fernandez has a chance. He's becoming a bit of an early horse, isn't he? I have to say. And I think one at a big price that could run well is Archer's Dream. But I do think Art Power is the one to beat along with you as well. Great stuff. Now on to the Old Borough Cup, which is always one of the most competitive handicaps of this time of the year. Really is, again, I have to say, particularly in a soft ground. It's going to take some getting over 1 mile 3/4. That is for sure. Rhythmic Intent for Stuart Williams is around about the head of the market, alongside Future Investment, who bolted up at Chester last time out. A few others in here of interest, including Cape Coast for Mark Johnston, and Roginski and Stargazer were also very much of appeal too. Steve, who do you like in this?
I've given my tick to Dark Jedi in this. I thought ran really well, going over 1.5 miles at York last time, and the horse that beat him that day was a really expensive John Gosden, potential superstar type. And I think Dark Jedi, since he's moved to Tim Easterby, has just got gradually better and better. And I think the longer trip will suit. I think the soft ground will be fine. I think he'll run well. Rhythmic Intent, I'm worried about. It's gone up £6 for winning at Newbury last time. Again, he loved it soft there. He stays well. And you've got to give a word to Glen Cadham Glory as well, haven't you, after he nearly nicked the Ebor from the front. £5 raise for that is interesting. And one more, I'll keep going forever. It's one
go for it.
Australis. Be interested to see how he goes on the soft ground, because he is actually bred for it, despite the fact that he keeps winning on the all-weather. And he was second in the Northumberland Plate, so we know there'll be no problem with stamina. And on breed, and he should like this trip. But I've come down on Dark Jedi in what should be a brilliant race, I think, provided the ground isn't too bad.
Interesting stuff. Yeah, I have to say, I'm going to be agreeing with you again, but not on Dark Jedi, but on Australis. He'd be my pick for Roger Ver and Andre Azani. I still think he's got way more to come over this kind of trip. And I agree with you, he is bred for soft ground, and he's got the kind of action. I've seen a lot of his races recently that I think he will excel in slower conditions. He's quite a big horse too, and I think he will be suited by Haydock soft ground. So hopefully he's going to be the one towards the bottom of the weights to run a big race for me. But yeah, interesting you've gone with Dark Jedi for Timmy's to be. He's had a lot of winners in recent weeks, loves a win at Haydock as well. On to the Betfair Superior Mile Stakes, a Group 3 over 1 mile, as you'd expect. Soft ground again, the 4 to the 4 here, being at Haydock. Now, a very interesting race here as we see a rematch between My Oberon and Calusi. Obviously, a few others in here with big chances too, like Top Rank and Stormy Antarctic, but they are the most intriguing runners in the race, I would say, being 3-year-olds, being the more unexposed. Have you gone with one of those, or do you like something else?
I'm quite keen on Calusi for this. went down as a potential superstar with the Britannia Stakes win. And I just think the ground was too firm at Glorious Goodwood last time because, I mean, he tanked into the race, didn't he? And then when push came to shove, I just think the horse, he's an inexperienced horse, maybe just was thinking, hang on, what's this? It's like a road. And he just didn't let himself down. And I think in these conditions, I think he'll be absolutely ideal. And I think he can take another big step forward. You look at the likes of Dark Vision, I can't see him liking the ground. He didn't like it at York last time. And the one I fear more actually than my Oberon, even though he won last time, is Kesar. Has a very good record at Haydock, has a very good record in the mud, won well here in July, and didn't get the run of the race at York last time. I know he's stepping up in class, but I think he's got an each-way chance to chase home Calusi.
Very interesting indeed. I agree with you once again. Calusi is my pick in the race. I think he's still got way more to come. And that race at Goodwood didn't suit him last time, I'm sure of it. And he loves soft ground. So what's not to like about him? He's still got way more to come after just 4 starts. And the one I think, for me, who I fear most is Stormy Antarctic, who we know loves bottomless conditions. And at his best, he'd have a really big chance in a field like this. But yeah, Calusi for me as well. That ends our Haydock preview, I should say. Now over to Ascot, where we're doing one race, which is the Lavazza Stakes, a heritage handicap. Really competitive contest, this. I'm going to go first this time because, unfortunately, I'm siding with the favourite, which I would never usually do in a race of this nature. But I just think Chandos is so solid, having won a really, really competitive handicap at this track last time. That was a really nice performance, beating Grand Bazaar. And he still looked very green that day on his return. I expect a lot more improvement to come. He's only been raised £4, which I thought was quite nice, actually, quite lenient. And even in a race of this nature, I think he's very much the one to beat. There's plenty in here with big chances, My Frankel, Cepheus, Kips, etc. That nearly horse he's wearing first-time cheek pieces. But I just think Chandos, on that step up to 1.5 miles, we saw a bit of a different horse. He came with a rolling run down the outside of the track to pick up Grand Bazaar, who I thought had really stolen it from the front. So for me, Chandos with David Egan on is the one to beat in the Lavazza Stakes. Templegate, who do you fancy?
Yeah, I mean, I think what you just said there was fair enough. I think Chandos will uphold that form. You've got Mike Frankel in there as well, which for those of us of a certain age to see Kieran Fallon riding in those colours for Sir Michael Stout brings back some very happy memories of the 90s and early noughties. Do you know what? I'm going to stick with Kips. You might think I'm crackers because he keeps hitting the post, but I mean, I don't think it was Ryan Moore's finest hour in the Melrose Stakes. I mean, he was practically in Lancashire when he made his run. He was that far behind, and he ran on really well over a trip that maybe just stretched him a little bit. His last run over course and distance, he was second in the King George handicap, wasn't he, at the Royal Meeting? Off a similar weight. Okay, a lot of people are worried about first-time cheek pieces, but maybe that'll just help him concentrate a little bit at the business end. And I think he'll run well. I also think Al Quacar, is that how you say it?
Very nice.
Another one in the first-time cheek pieces looks very much underrated off 88. They paid £1.2 million for him as a yearling, so you would hope he would be better than that in time. But I think Kips, this could be the day.
Hopefully, he's had many chances, but things keep going wrong for him, don't they? So hopefully in that first-time headgear, he's going to be the one. Templegate, one last question for you. This is a bit of a left-field question, but do you think Holly Doyle will be champion jockey?
Yes, but not this season, obviously. I think she just has the absolute profile of a champion jockey these days. I mean, it's no longer the Lester Pigots and Pat Edries, is it, who tend to win it. Oisin Murphy's a little bit of an outlier, really, in that he's got a retainer and runs and rides in all the top races and has managed to be champion jockey. But we've seen more and more in recent years with, the Paul Hannigans of this world. It's hard working, handicap winning, day in, day out jockeys that have won it a lot. And when Oisin Murphy maybe goes up the next level, I mean, maybe when Frankie packs in and they all move up one, he might move up to a Godolphin or something like that. I think Holly Doyle, along with several others, I mean, Tom Markman, for example, Danny Tudhope, all these types of jockeys are all capable of doing it these days because winning the jockey's title has changed, certainly from, when I first started following the sport, when it was normally the very best top class jockey who won it. Now it's more of the hardest working one, and there's something about Holly Doyle. She's hard working and she very rarely messes one up, does she, to be fair?
Absolutely, couldn't have put it better myself. Yeah, very, very reliable, and she's got all the talent in the world. So I completely agree with you. Templegate, thank you so much indeed for that preview of the weekend, and also for those comments about Holly Doyle. Hopefully there are some winners in there. It's very difficult to always find a Haydock in soft ground, but hopefully we will come out on top and beat the bookies. See you all very soon.
Love it.